Sup folders, so in today's video, I'm going to be ranking the MCU Part 2. I'm going to try to make this video shorter, but it's probably still going to be long. We should probably get right into it. So if you haven't seen Part 1, go check that out and then come back here and then finish this video up. Tell me down in the comments below how stupid I am. Why would I put this movie so low or so high? I don't personally care, but I'm glad to have arguments with you guys. Don't get mad at me. You're not allowed to get mad at me. It's just just a ranking. It's just me. But if you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. Let's head right into the ranking. Alright, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 at the top of messy tier. Because, I don't know, I don't love Ego as the villain. It's like weird because we're just dealing with more Peter issues. You've had his mom in the first one, and then now you have his dad, and it's just not that interesting. The character's cool, I guess. The fight scenes are cool, but I think Mantis and Nebula are good additions to the team, but I don't like them like individually as characters. We also jump around a lot of places. We go from the Ravagers being the villains, and then they're not. And then you have the Golden Queen. These villains just aren't that interesting, you know? I thought Ego's backstory was aight, but a rather messy movie, to be honest. But I don't hate it. I think it's the top of messy tier, but I can't put him much higher. So next up, we have SpiderMan Homecoming, and he's gonna go in beautiful tier because I really love this movie. Before we get into this, I want to put my thoughts on each live-action Spider-Man. I think they're all great. I think they all are good in their own respective ways. I think Tobey Maguire is the best Peter Parker. He's a 5 out of 5 Peter Parker and a 4 out of 5 Spider-Man. I think Andrew's a 5 out of 5 Spider-Man and a 4 out of 5 Peter Parker, but Tom is a good mix between them. I think he's a 4.5 out of 5 Spider-Man and a 4.5 out of 5 Peter Parker. I think Tom does a really good job at capturing the nerdiness of Peter Parker, but not making him too weird where it wouldn't make sense that he's Spider-Man. In this movie, Iron Man helps a little bit, but he's more distant to Spider-Man than people like realize, I guess. You see that Peter tries to deal with it himself a lot, and that's when Iron Man shows up, because if he messes up too much, he does help him, which I get that's what you're arguing, but especially after Iron Man takes the suit that he created for him, he doesn't just stop. He doesn't just walk away from being Spider-Man, just like sit there and like pout all day. Oh, he took my suit. He goes out there and then he realizes that Vulture is the dad of his homecoming date. I thought that was a full fantastic reveal. I think Vulture is an insane villain. I do think it'll be great if he's the 6th member of the Sinister Six, but it kind of really wouldn't make sense because he seems like he's covering for Peter and he's not really like out for him. But he did make Liz move and he still put him in prison, so he's not the most happy with Peter. Let's just say that. The line in this movie that really speaks with me is the conversation between Peter and Tony.
Okay, it's not working out. I'm gonna need the suit back.
Please, this is all I have. I'm nothing without this suit.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
It's obviously just talking about the suit, but I feel like that applies to a lot of things in life, and I don't know. It speaks with me. And for all of you who just say that Iron Man is just like, oh, always gonna be there to help Peter so he's never in danger, I point you to the scene where Vulture drops a building on Peter and he's sitting there crying and he's screaming for help and he's just falling crushed by concrete, but he realizes Tony's not there, he doesn't have a suit on, he doesn't have the tracker, and he needs to just do it himself. And that's the heroic leap of faith moment that Peter realizes that there's not always going to be someone there to help me. I kind of like Ned. I was so excited when Zendaya was revealed as MJ. I was so excited when I heard that. But overall, I think this movie's just got such a great story. Alright, next up, we have a movie that's gonna go the opposite spectrum of where his other two movies are. Thor and Thor the Dark World being at the bottom. And then Thor Ragnarok being in beautiful tier. Because it's such a good movie. And I think the reason why is that they changed the tones from being dark and gloomy at the bottom and trying to be all serious to this funny folding character that Thor should have been from the beginning. We also see his relationship with Loki get better because he finally tells Loki that he thought Loki was a good brother, but he always messes around and he always backstabs him, and he always just fucking wants to conquer the world or conquer the universe or get the throne of Asgard. He was always jealous of Thor, and you know whose fault that is? You know whose fault that is? Folding Odin's. What a terrible father. Also didn't tell them, you got a evil sister. goddess of death that is after I'm dead is probably gonna come, and I'm about to die right now, so she's probably gonna be here in like 5 minutes. Would have been nice to tell him earlier, but you know, good job, Odin. Folding Thor's hammer breaks, and Thor has to realize that his hammer doesn't give him his powers. His hammer helps him control his powers, but if he becomes powerful enough and realizes who he is, the God of Thunder, he can fold and access his powers just from folding thin air. And I love the folding song used for Thor, and I think they should have used it way before, but it's like upbeat, and that's not how the Thor movies worked in the beginning, which they should have. But this is the movie Thor deserved. I love this. Heading into Infinity War was great. But yeah, and I think the final scene of Surtur destroying Asgard and Hela with it was folding absolutely fantastic. It looked sick, and it showed that Asgard wasn't a place, it was a people. And next up, we have an amazing movie with Black Panther. And just to start off, Chadwick Boseman's death was just, it was insane because no one really knew that he was even sick, he even had cancer. So to know that he even had this while making Black Panther and all his other movies is insane. And he just does such a good job with this movie. And I think the main point of this movie was to show that there's a lot of problems with every decision you make. And we have a big one in this movie is what they're going to do with Wakanda. Are they going to open up and give all their vibranium away and to try to help people, but also maybe put people in danger because they don't really know what they're going to do with the vibranium? Or are they going to stay silent and be selfish with their vibranium, even though they know people need help and they need to make weapons to protect the people? And I think they do that very well with the conflict with Killmonger and Black Panther. I think another good thing about Shuri's character is that we see that she doesn't fully grasp how lucky she is to live in Wakanda and to be safe. She can read about people struggling and people dying, but they're encased in a bubble in Wakanda, and she isn't able to fully grasp it without being with other people of different races or different wealth or different amount of security. And I think it's a great thing that some kids can look up at Black Panther and be like, he looks like me. And I think that's also what they're doing with Shang-Chi, which I think is going to be a great movie. And I think what Marvel does best is that they focus on the character being a good character because they're a good character and not just because they're a certain race. And the bottom line is that your race, your sexuality, or your gender should not be used as a marketing tool. It's that simple. Avengers Infinity War. What an absolute folding masterpiece. Oh my god, what a good movie. Thanos folding scary as fold. The Avengers are split, so we have to deal with that. This is exactly what I was talking about. Good job folding Tony for splitting up the Avengers. Thank you. Gosh, there's so much to talk about. When I went into this movie, I was like, Thanos is gonna snap, and we're pretty folds. I don't know, my brain didn't process that, oh my gosh, there's probably gonna be another movie that we're gonna have to wait to see, but I knew he was gonna snap, so it wasn't as impactful when he did snap. I was folding sad. But I wasn't going to cry because I knew they were going to come back. The action scene is absolutely incredible, and to watch just the Avengers lose was heartbreaking, but it was just an amazing movie to see. Thanos was scary as fold, and it was just amazing. Next up, we have AntMan and the Wasp, and I really like this movie. It's funny as folds. It's really epic. Wasp is a really cool addition. I think the problem with it is that it's not like epic. It's not like really, really cool. It's alright, but I think just the humor just brings it up to better than messy tier, because I think it feels messy, but in a more coordinated way. It feels like a wild goose chase. You have the villain Ghost, which in my opinion isn't that entertaining or interesting like at all. But I think the cool thing is that each party that was going after the trying to get the building that had the quantum realm machine, they all had their own intentions. Obviously, you had the folding group that just wanted it for money. You had Ghost that wanted to cure herself so that she wouldn't like phase through stuff anymore. And then you had Ant-Man and Hope and Hank that were trying to get Janet back. But overall, I thought this movie was pretty good. Really funny. Yeah, nothing insane, but I still really liked it. Yeah, Captain Marvel. What do I say about this? It's going here. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate from that. I don't care. It's not because she's a woman. I'm sorry if that's what you wanted it to be about, but but it's not. It's just not that compelling. I think she's the polar opposite of the character development of Tony. Tony went from this arrogant folder to this more rounded and selfless character. This movie just shows no sign of Captain Marvel wanting to get less arrogant. I get she's powerful and all, but it just feels like there's no consequence of her being arrogant. Also, it feels like I don't really know this character because Carol doesn't know herself throughout most of the movie, which sucks. And I feel like some people who dislike this movie are not excited to see The Marvels, which is the sequel to it. Also gonna have Monica Rambeau and Miss Marvel. But I'm really excited to see that movie because I think they can redeem this character like they redeemed Thor with his movies. But I'm hoping they don't just stick with, I'm Carol Danvers, I'm all epic, I'm unstoppable. It's not that interesting. The villain sucked. Supreme Intelligence, and I don't even remember the second Folder's name. I thought the Skrulls were pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about them giving a backstory to Nick Fury. I think the whole point of Nick Fury is that he's mysterious and you don't really know what happened to him. But I will say, I was so excited to see Phil Coulson again. It was really cool, and you get to see him like help Nick out by betraying S.H.I.E.L.D. and helping him even though he didn't know what was going on. And I did rewatch the movie to see if I would like it again, like how I full-on did not like Civil War before this, but it just didn't change. I watched it after I did my TikTok series. Obviously, I have a TikTok. Go folding, check it out if you haven't. Echoes _ on TikTok. If you do have TikTok, go over there and follow me. And now we have my number one pick with Avengers Endgame. Oh, you're just blinded by nostalgia. I don't care. I folding bald, my folding eyes out at the end of this movie. Obviously, Marvel is a big folding part of my childhood. Not just because nostalgia, because you see all the folding character development round out for a bunch of the characters that I folding love. Tony, Thor, and folding Captain America. Obviously, we get more Thor, but we don't see the other two, which is really sad. Obviously, we see Black Widow make an insane sacrifice. Hulk basically loses his whole arm. He can definitely not fight anymore. I love that Cap wielded Mjolnir. I love that Tony got to make the ultimate sacrifice. And if you disagree that folding Cap deserved to go back with Peggy, we are going to fight, okay? I'm just saying that now. He did, and don't even say he didn't, okay? He deserved it. And just folding the portal scene, oh my gosh, chills every time I watch it, dude. On your left from folding Falcon. Folding Cap was gonna fight the whole folding Thanos army by himself. Did we see that? I think, to be honest, enough said. And let's move on to Spider-Man Far From Home. Next up, we have Spider-Man Far From Home, which is gonna go in nice tier. I rewatched this movie. It's alright. I knew Mysterio was gonna be evil even before watching the movie. I knew about him from playing Lego Avengers. I think even without watching folding breakdowns of Marvel, like, trailers and all that, you can tell he's evil. I saw the trailer for the first time. I was like, yeah, this guy's definitely up to no good. That kind of ruined it for me, I guess. But I still think Mysterio wasn't a bad villain. He just wasn't great. And I think the whole thing that he brought up, he's from a different universe than us. He's from a different Earth or whatever he said. The only thing I really like from this movie is that Spider-Man, Peter Parker, has to realize that he will never be the next Iron Man. No one will ever be the next Iron Man. No one can fully live up to Tony's legacy. And he's just a kid, so he's still trying to figure stuff out. He has a lot of power at this young of an age. I think he's 17 in this movie, maybe 16, which is insane. But overall, this movie isn't terrible. Real excited to see what happens in No Way Home. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started, man. Holy fault. Let's fold and go, baby! Next up, we have the first TV show. We have WandaVision. So this movie is also going in nice tier because I was obsessed with this show from the beginning. Everyone was like, oh, what, Marvel, what are you doing? You're so stupid. Why are you releasing this sitcom show? This is going to be terrible. I remember those folders on TikTok. I folding saw all of them. Oh, how much do you think they folding regretted that? Oh my gosh. I knew from the beginning, I'm like, don't worry, it's going to get better. Don't fold and worry. Dude, I was folding right. And I'm saying that, and I believed in the Mephisto theory. And the Mephisto theory did not folding ruin WandaVision. If it did for you, I'm sorry. I get why he wasn't in it. I think he could have still been in it. I think they could easily insert him into it, and it would still make sense. Agatha as the villain was great. I think exploring more of the Scarlet Witch's backstory. I think she's now considered a mutant because she had her powers as a kid. And I think all the Mind Stone did was enhance her mutant powers. But the relationship between Wanda and Vision is absolutely fantastic. I think the kids are a really cool addition. Young Avengers team definitely folding coming. We have Kate Bishop. We have young Loki. We have the 2 kids. We have American Chavez. I can go on and on. But they're going to be set up. Monica was great. I think Jimmy Woo, folding fantastic. He folding learned the card trick. Amazing. But overall, I was folding obsessed with this show. I love the ending. And I'm so excited to see her in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I love this show. And let's move on to the next show. And that is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't disagree with Falcon being Captain America. I think he's going to do a great job. I think it's going to be really cool to watch. I love Baron Zemo in this show. I did not like that Sharon Carter was the power broker, but you never know how I'm going to feel when Armor Wars comes out, because I bet she's going to be in that. Carly Morgenthau, messy. Up until the last episode, she just seemed like, oh, I just want to do what's right. And then she's like, let's fold and kill people. Don't fold and matter. I'm like, okay, whoa, relax, calm yourself. I was like kind of with her until that. I kind of did like a switch around because I hated John Walker from the moment I saw him. That does not mean I didn't like the actor. I think Wyatt Russell did a folding fantastic job. Everyone who folding sent him death threats and folding hate him is folding insane. What is wrong with you? He's supposed to be a villain. But what I am excited for is Val. Oh my gosh, the folding Thunderbolts or the Dark Avengers, whatever they want to fold and call it, is coming. Obviously, we have Yelena. And we have U.S. Agent. I think maybe Baron Zemo joins the team, but I don't really know who else we're going to get. And I think Bucky's story in this show was amazing. Everything else just didn't really execute well. And let's move on to Folding Loki. Loki. Oh my gosh, this show, obsessed. I don't want to put any of the shows in beautiful or absolute masterpiece, even though I am folding obsessed with Loki. Oh my gosh, I knew Kang was going to be in it from day one, bro. I had a feeling it was Kang. I was like, either 3 timekeepers are fake and Kang built them, or the 3 timekeepers are real and Kang is one of them. And I like that they did go with Kang built the timekeepers and just the insane multiverse break. I was watching the episode at 3 a.m. and I screamed when that folding door opened and Kang was just sitting there like, oh, yeah, oh, it was me that you wanted to see? Oh, what's up? I just got a folding apple over here. You know, he's eating and he's just be like, oh, I'm sorry it wasn't a disappointment. I was like, no, you were not. Sylvie, what the fold are we doing? I think she was a really cool character. Renslayer, I don't know what's happening with her. I'm so mad that we didn't get either a wow from folding Owen Wilson, Mobius, on a folding jet ski. I'm a little upset. I hope we get him in the 2nd season. If we don't, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna legit cry. He deserves his folding jet ski. I'm just so excited the implications of the multiverse. There's just so much we can do. X-Men, folding Fantastic Four, anyone from the Marvel TV shows. I think Jonathan Majors does a great job with this show. In the final episode, he's just so like goofy. I love the goofiness of him. I don't know if we'll get as of a goofy Kang in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I don't think so, but we'll see. And last, we have Black Widow. I thought Black Widow was good. I think this movie would have been way better a few years ago, right after Civil War, but you know, I think Red Guardian was hilarious. I thought folding Yelena was hilarious, and they're both folding epic as folds. Taskmaster and Dreykov. I thought Dreykov was amazing. And Taskmaster, everyone folding hates on this Taskmaster. Not great. And I like that this movie starts off with Natasha and Yelena being kids, and they have to be raised in America as a spy family from Russia. And I thought that was really cool to watch. And they have to folding escape in the plane. And when I saw Red Guardian folding lift the folding truck, I was like, wait a minute, what the fold is he? Obviously, he's a super soldier, and he keeps bringing up that he had a fight with Captain America, and it doesn't seem, he seems pretty like confident that he did, and it like actually happened, which wouldn't make sense because he was still in the ice by the time that he's saying that he had the fight with him. So what does that mean? I think they're gonna explain that later on. I don't know what movie or what show or whatever. But I think they're going to explain it, and there's probably going to be a different Captain America that we kind of see. And we have one movie left, and that is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And this is your spoiler warning for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Don't fucking watch this part of the video if you haven't seen it yet. I'm guessing you haven't. If you have, nice. But I'm going to be talking about it, and hopefully I think it's good. But yeah, this is my tier list for now, and you will see the end of the tier list in 3, a 2, a 1. Alright, so I'm going to start with the more bizarre, but one of my favorite parts about this movie. My boy Trevor. My boy Trevor's back. It was so amazing to see him again. He's so funny. I don't know. I love the dynamic of Trevor and Maurice. That's how I've been saying it every single time. Yes, I am aware it's Morris, but let me be full and happy. Capiche? Because all I think of when I think Maurice is the Faldo from Madagascar, and I always think of King Julian saying it. Ceiling, it's here. Which is crazy to even say, because, wow. I think Shang-Chi could be one of my top 5 favorite MCU characters. The red carpet interview before the movie came out, I was already like, I like Simu Liu. I Folding like him. I don't know if I pronounce any Folding names wrong, Folding get mad at me, because I don't know. Just Folding let me know how to pronounce things, because I suck. I absolutely suck. But the floor for me, I think the floor for this is right here. I don't think I'm going any lower than here. Dude, I'm going to fold and put it in between Thor Ragnarok and Civil War. It was so incredibly amazing. Just the visuals, great. The battle scenes were folding fantastic. There's a folding dragon. You know, just a casual dragon in this. Love to see it. I do not know the evil monster's name. I will folding either put it in this video, or I still may not know. The evil monster was first shot by our folder, Katie. That's what I'm folding talking about. She was folding funny, and she couldn't fold. She was hitting some shots. I'll just tell you that. She was hitting them shots. I thought Wong and Abomination were going to show up a little bit more in this movie, but I don't mind that they didn't. I'm surprised Abomination didn't get recruited by Val in a post-credit scene. Also, I like that the guy from Spider-Man, I don't know his character's name. He's like an extra, but he keeps coming back, and he keeps like videoing everything, and he's like, oh, you're the Spider-Man from YouTube. Yeah. That guy, he, like, tries to, like, commentate the fight on the bus, and then he's like, okay, never mind. I think he said he was a yellow belt or something, in karate, so he's like, I got this, and then he sees someone, he's like, never mind, never mind. And I love the family dynamic of this, because you see the whole family together, and you see Wenwu, the Mandarin, if you don't know, you see him go from being this corrupted guy with these 10 rings that just wanted power, and then he realizes that he finally has something to stop fighting for. Yeah, it sounds a little weird, but he doesn't have to continue to just, like, take over stuff. Doesn't need to take over civilizations or have the 10 rings on all the time. And it was sad to see Lee, I think, is Shang-Chi's mom's name. But it was sad to see her die and then see Wenwu have to go through that. And then he, like, starts going on a tear after because he just wants to be with her again. It was sad because he lived all those lifetimes and he finally found someone to live for and to die for. And Zai Ling was folding sick, dude. Oh my gosh, she was cool as fault. I'll just say that. And I think it's cool that she is now leading the 10 rings. Her father never let her fight with the boys, and now she's able to lead the whole group itself, and she's allowing some girls and some boys to fight together. And that's really cool to watch, too. But overall, I just think this movie's folding fantastic. If you are thinking about skipping this and you're a folding Marvel fan, even if you're not a Marvel fan, this is still a folding amazing movie. Go folding watch it, please. And also, this might determine if some movies are going to get delayed or not. So if you want to see movies earlier, go folding watch this movie. I promise you're not going to hate it. And that's the end of the video, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. This is the end of the MCU ranking. But if you do want to see more Marvel content in the future, make sure to comment down below what you want to see next. What I think I might do next is rank what Marvel movies and shows I'm most excited to see. But thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day. See ya!